Many reports have confirmed that Hansi Flick will be the new manager of Barcelona, and I think this will be a great decision from Joan Laporta. I think because Hansi Flick is one of the best candidates to manage this Barcelona side right now. Whenever the decision-making process to sign a coach for FC Barcelona is to be done, the first thing to be taken into account is the economical situation of the club, because any coach that would enter would have serious expectations and would not get many signings at his disposal. He has to work with the current squad, and he has to also be calm and composed and not be affected by the media criticism, as it is very high in this case of the Barcelona job. And this is obvious. We all know that the economic situation of this club is not very good, and any coach who comes to this club is expected of winning trophies and compete with this squad only. But the good thing is, and a positive thing for any coach who can enter, one positive thing is that the current squad is very complete. We also have a lot of depth. Thing is that the squad is very young, and the coach who comes in has to compete for the trophies as well as improve the current players and make them mature, and I think then this team can be a serious UCL contender. If the full potential of this squad is unleashed, I think this team can be one of the forces to be reckoned with in Europe, because this squad has many young talents who need to be nurtured and improved with time. Like for example, we have Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Xavi, Fermin Lopez, Pau Cubarsí, Hector Ford, Ronald Araujo. The list is endless. We know what Hansi Flick did with Bayern in 2020. Bayern Munich was in a very similar situation to Barcelona, a squad with immense potential, and we know what happened in the end. Bayern Munich won the UCL, which means the squad was good, but the management wasn't. The coach Niko Kovac could not bring out the full potential of the team and was not bringing out the results. And then he was sacked mid-season, and instead Hansi Flick came in, who completely revolutionized the squad. And Barcelona is in a similar situation. Lack of tactics has led to Xavi resigning, and this is a similarity between Barcelona and Bayern. And I think Hansi Flick is a perfect candidate for Barcelona right now, because the squad is good technically, the squad is good individually, but what the squad is lacking is the physicality and being united. And that is what is the strength of Hansi Flick. And I think he can instill these qualities into the squad, and I think then this squad can be one to be reckoned with. Previously, Jurgen Klopp was the #1 candidate as he announced his resignation from the Liverpool job after a successful campaign of 8 years. And Joan Laporta had the idea of approaching him, but Jurgen Klopp's agent declined immediately because Jurgen Klopp needs rest right now and he doesn't want to take up a coaching job for at least 1 year. That's why Hansi Flick is the next best option. And Joan Laporta has been a long-time admirer of German coaches like Hansi Flick, Jurgen Klopp, Julian Nagelsmann and Thomas Tuchel. And when he came to the presidency, Joan Laporta wanted to sign one of the German coaches, as he's a big fan of the German coaching school. But all the German managers were not available. All of the 4 were not available. That's why Xavi was the next best option, who was doing great at Al Sadd. Another thing is, the difference between Bayern Munich of 2020 and Barcelona 2024 is that a team is very young, and those players were already pretty much at their primes, or you could say they were already mature, like Joshua Kimmich, Leon Goretzka, Robert Lewandowski. But this team is not that ready, as either the players are too old or they are too young. So that is one of the problems, and that's why the sporting director Deco and is not in support of this decision, and he wants to sign Sergio Coenchao from Porto. But I think this is not a great take, because any noticeable teams that Sergio Coenchao has managed is Porto, and I think coaching Porto and coaching Barcelona are two different things, as Barcelona coach is always under pressure, immense pressure, and many successful coaches like Pep Guardiola, Luis Enrique, and now Xavi, who has, let's be honest, he is a successful coach. It's just the media pressure is too high. He won us the La Liga. But what I was saying was, these coaches already said that the Barcelona job is the most difficult in the world, and not just the Barcelona job, but any job in Spain. So that's why I think Sergio Coenchao is not ready, or I think the better thing to say is that he hasn't proved his mettle yet. Other available managers and options that were for Barcelona coaching job were Jose Mourinho, Mikel Arteta, Thiago Motta, but all of these coaches have been pushed aside, and also Jurgen Klopp was also there, but he has declined. So the So the two left options are Sergi Concha and Hansi Flick, and in my opinion, Hansi Flick is perfect for this Barcelona job as he likes to play with the ball, he likes to press, he likes to keep a high line. He has very similar philosophies to Pep Guardiola, or you could say Jurgen Klopp. You can also say that he is the perfect mixture of both. I'm not saying that he's at that level because I think he has only done one job, and in the other job, that was the Germany national team, I don't think he did very well. So time will tell, but I think Hansi Flick is the best option right now. So let's talk about the tactical changes that Hansi Flick might bring to Barcelona. At his spell at Bayern Munich, he liked to play a high line, and he also liked to play with the ball. And he liked possession and counter pressing, and one of the most famous philosophies in German football is gegenpressing, or you could also say counter pressing, and he's a big fan of that. And Bayern Munich played that excellently, as we know. Reasons for the success of this counter pressing at Bayern were players like Thomas Müller, Robert Lewandowski, Leon Goretzka, Kimmich, and they pulled it off excellently. And I think Barcelona has the players to do that, like Xavi. Hansi Flick has also conveyed that he wants Xavi to be the center of this team as he's a pressing monster and also good at technical play. He says that he's an upgrade of Thomas Müller because he has the football IQ. I mean, not as much as Thomas Müller because he's one of the best, but he has it at good level. He also has technical play and he has 4 lungs. He is a pressing monster. So I think Xavi would be very happy at this decision. Like many gegenpressing teams, Bayern Munich like to win the ball up the field and continue their attack from there onwards. And this is a great thing at Barcelona. I think in the few past years after Pep Guardiola, each coach, or I think Barcelona and the presidents have been pressurizing the coaches to play in the same philosophy and trying to make the same thing work with no physicality and overloads of technical play. So I think that is not good, and we need a thought of pressing and aggression and physicality, and I think Hansi Flick will bring that out perfectly. As a Barca fan myself, Hansi Flick has brought a great amount of distress in us, and I think it's time for him to become our savior. He has won multiple trophies including the UCL and making Bayern Munich, which is one of the greatest teams at the time. The team of Bayern Munich 2020 was one of the best teams of all times. So I think Barcelona needs this kind of manager. Christian Falk, who is a reputable German reporter and is close to most of the affairs happening in Germany, has reported that Hansi Flick has started to learn Spanish and is excited for the new challenge that he will get at FC Barcelona. Javi Martinez, who is a Spanish midfielder who played under Hansi Flick at Bayern Munich, told that he's a very calm manager and likes to play with the ball in the training and does more of the drills with the ball. Also, his training sessions are very intense, which is much needed in Barcelona, as there are many reports that Barcelona's training is very less intense. And this is a great thing as he will instill the needed physicality that is so needed in this Barcelona team. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and comment if Hansi Flick is the perfect choice for FC Barcelona right now.